Good evening and welcome to the Hillhead 2022 pre-show show. I'm your host Mark Anthony. The Mammoth Hillhead exhibition is now just 6 days away, so we thought we'd take the opportunity to highlight some of the key products that will be on display at one of the UK's favourite shows, which this year is celebrating its 40th birthday. We're going to do our best to bring you some of the flavour of one of the industry's favourite exhibitions. I can't offer you sunshine or al fresco burgers, but I do have a bag of popcorn by my side and a cold beverage as well. I suggest you do likewise. Oh, and please feel free to have a chat either in the aisles at the real show or right here in our digital aisles. I'll do my best to keep on top of it all. Now, if you were here for this morning's breakfast show, you will know that it was a hot mess of technological gremlins and failed video clips with an idiot at the helm trying to hold things together. Well, we seem to have eradicated the gremlins. The video clips we'll be showing over the next hour or so all appear to be working just fine. At least they were when we did our dry run a little bit earlier. And while there's precious little I can do about the fool pressing the buttons, my involvement tonight is, you will be pleased to hear, minimal. Now, we have a huge amount of content to get through this evening and a bunch of stuff to give away too. So I thought we would start where we should start, with the Hillhead show itself.
Welcome to Hillhead. We're excited about getting back to business and delighted to be celebrating our 40th anniversary with you.
Join us from the 21st to the 23rd of June. We're open from 8:30 till 6 Tuesday and Wednesday and 8:30 till 4:30 on Thursday. This show is the biggest yet, with a record-breaking 600 exhibitors to explore and over 50 demonstrations to enjoy.
Start planning now with My Hillhead. Pre-arrange appointments, save your favourite exhibitors, and receive personalised recommendations to create a schedule to take with you to the show.
Parking is free of charge on site. Play your part in making the industry more sustainable. Share a lift with a colleague or sign up to Hillhead's dedicated lift share. Wear sensible shoes for our unique quarry setting. Be weather savvy. Familiarise yourself with the site.
Keep hydrated and take some time out to relax at our catering areas. And stay connected with your social media and emails at our Wi-Fi hotspots.
And if you're feeling under the weather, be COVID safe and stay at home.
If you haven't registered yet, tickets are free, so head over to this link and sign up today.
Keep up to date online with all the latest show news at hillhead.com.
Enjoy the show.
Those are just some of the people that make Hillhead tick, and without them, frankly, Hillhead 2022 would just be a big hole in the ground. Even though the global pandemic pulled the rug out from under the show that should have taken place in 2020, the organisers have once again demonstrated their commitment to the industry. So if you see any of those folks or any of their colleagues, please take the opportunity to say a very, very big thank you. Now, the Hillhead show wouldn't exist without those people, and this show wouldn't exist without these. The X-Watch suite of safety solutions has attracted major OEM dealers and some of the largest names in the UK plant hire industry, who now specify X-Watch systems as standard when customers specify height and slew limitations. Join the safety revolution. Just visit xwatch.co.uk. Now, we'll get to the products in just a second, but for long before the various manufacturers started to deliver their equipment to the quarry in Buxton, there was a small matter of making room to accommodate them all. going to pause very quickly to say hello to a few people that are lurking in the chat right now. A good evening to James Doble, to Gary Muirhead, to Lee Upton, to Al Grierson, and to Justin Carrigan as well. I knew there was another one there somewhere. Right. It is finally time to start looking at some products. And while we do so, please be sure to type the word Hillhead, Hillhead, into the chat for your chance to win. Let me see. A Komatsu baseball cap. And just to prove that this show isn't thrown together, here is Komatsu with one of the many products that will be on their stand. And you will find Marubeni Komatsu on stand Y3. We've had a few new arrivals in the chat. Let's have a very quick look. Who have we got? Tom O'Donnell is here. Mick Norton's here as well. Good evening to you, gentlemen. Good of you to be here. Don't forget to type the word Hillhead into the chat for your chance to win a Komatsu baseball cap. Now, those of you that tuned in to this morning's somewhat disastrous breakfast show will know that I nearly missed my own show entirely, but I did have a good excuse. Before I came on air, I'd been speaking to one of the team at Hyundai Construction Equipment about their Hillhead 2022 display. And although I can't reveal what it is, and trust me, it's very frustrating it is too, there is going to be a major new product announcement on the Hyundai stand, as you're about to hear.
In addition to the excavators and wheel loaders that we're going to show, we're very excited about Hillhead because we're going to launch a product that is completely new to the Hyundai lineup, and we're very excited. So you should not miss visiting us at Hillhead. we're going to showcase our fully renewed lineup of A-series machines, including heavy excavators as well as heavy wheel loaders. And we're going to showcase machines from the 40-ton class, which is very famous in the UK, as we all know. The 30-ton class and also the 50-ton class will be in the demo area.
If somebody is visiting the Hyundai stand, what are the key products to look out for, and what are some of the key aspects of those machines?
We would like to focus on the heavy range of our excavators, like the HX480L, that will be visible and working in the demo area. And that is a machine that is part of our A-series lineup of machines. And these products have been designed with a clear focus on efficiency, controllability, but also with a lot of focus on operator comfort. Because we know that operators nowadays, specifically on very big machines, are operating in the machines for long days. And that is why we really paid a lot of attention to making them feel comfortable in the Hyundai machines.
Obviously, there's been some very sweeping changes in the industry over the past couple of years. Lots of talk about future fuels like hybrids and electrics and hydrogen and that kind of thing. And there's also been a lot of talk about technology, telematics and that kind of thing. So where is Hyundai on that journey?
Well, in terms of telematics, we have a partnership with Trimble, and you can order 2D as well as 3D systems as a factory fit ex our European customization center. And in terms of new technology, so talking about new fuel technology, we're really developing towards hydrogen. We believe in that technology a lot here at Hyundai, and we're going to come up with something new towards the end of this year. And we very much believe in that way. But we will also look into electrified machines, but we believe that the electrified machines will be more in the mini to midi class of excavators. On the bigger ones, we really think that hydrogen is the future. Do
you have any idea on a timescale for commercialization of hydrogen?
Well, that certainly requires still a lot of engineering around that technology. And it's not just the technology itself, but also the question how to make hydrogen available on the construction sites. We're not really there yet, but we've invested quite a lot of time and energy over the past years. And we believe that it might take another maybe 3 to 5 years until we see these machines hitting European construction sites.
You have you've pulled in some key names in the industry influencers, to actually be part of your display at the Hillhead show. Aside from myself, I'm not a key name, I'm just a guy, but aside from myself, who is going to be along on the stand for people to meet and greet?
Yeah, we have some fantastic names from the industry that we will welcome on our Hillhead stand. So we're talking about Amy Underwood, the famous digger girl. She will be present on our stand, and we're very happy about that. We will also have Kurt Mills coming around and seeing us on the Hillhead stand, another legend from the industry that will be great to see him there at Hillhead. We're also going to see James Cobble together with Nick Drew, who will also visit us, and yourself, Mark Anthony. I think you will also pay a visit to us, won't you?
I certainly will. You are one of the very top of my list for people.
Fantastic.
Speaking of industry influencers, Hyundai has just joined Instagram, which is exciting to see. Where can people find you on Instagram?
Yeah, indeed, we're paying much more attention to digital now and to social media, because we really see that many of our customers are using the digital resources and digital sources as the first point of information when trying to find out about our equipment. And therefore, you can expect to see much more of Hyundai content in the coming months on the well-known channels like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. And the Instagram channel that where you can find us is Hyundai CE Europe.
Be sure to visit stand X1 to check out that top secret Hyundai machine. I can't tell you what it is, but I have a funny feeling it's going to be one of the standout stars of the show. Now, Hyundai are not the only company that is planning to showcase a new product at Hillhead, because this lot are planning to do likewise just as soon as I can find them. And that all-new range of boxing rings will be on the Digger Guard stand, which is stand number S9. Now, those of you that watch our regular morning show on a regular basis will know that Case Construction Equipment has been extremely busy in the new product department just recently. If you head over to stand X6, this is just one of the new innovations that's going to be on display. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted the fact that I'm not wearing my usual mirrored sunglasses tonight. I am instead wearing these fine specimens from the folks at Zap Shelter. If you're going to the show, be on the lookout for some folks wearing bright yellow shirts. They are Zap Shelter's sheltologists, and you might just snag yourself a pair just like these, only with the branding on them, if you can find the sheltologists as they roam the stand, or roam the show, should I say. Right, let's get back to the equipment and let's look at a couple of familiar companies with new and possibly unfamiliar brands. And we start with Rockback, which, as most of you know by now, used to be Terex Trucks. Now, I'm going to pause very, very quickly because there's a bit of chat going on, not surprisingly, in the chat. Mick Norton has said, Digger Guard are a really impressive product. And as if by magic, Joanna Downey, who works for Digger Guard, said, Mick Norton, thanks, Mick. We're very excited to be at Hillhead 2022. If you're going, hope you'll drop by our stand to say hello. I'm not sure if Mick is going, and I'm not sure if he's planning to say hello, but I can assure you that I will be. Now, to go back to Rockback, you will find them on stand N14. That's N for November 14. Now, Rockback is not the only brand to drop the Terex name. And what was once Terex Finlay in white is now just Finlay in orange. Finley will be showing off their new livery and their new branding over on stand L3. Right, it's time to change up the banner. There we go. Time to change up the banner, at least for now. In addition to the fine Komatsu hat that we have up for grabs, we also have one from our friends at MB Crusher. So while you're watching this film, type the word Crusher into the chat to be with a chance to win the MB Crusher hat. And that's not the only thing you can win from MB Crusher, but I'll tell you more about that immediately after this.
They might look like digging buckets, but they are capable of so much more. MB Crusher continues to expand its range of hydraulic attachments with the new MB HDS 207 and the MB HDS 212 shaft screeners, both shaped as a digging bucket and designed to work with mini and midi excavators from 1.3 to 2.8 tons and from 5 to 10 ton. We were invited by the company, Edil Mechanica, to observe the new attachments working on the renovation of San Egidio farmhouse in Aquileia, Italy. Both models feature a new design, making it optimal for smaller construction sites. The MB HDS 207 and MB HDS 212 have several features in common. Greasing is centralized, and the transmission is protected by a fixed cover, which stops material from infiltrating in the bucket's gear. To protect the bolts and side casings, we've introduced welded covers on the back of the attachment. Additionally, the coupler connection is in a lower position than the rest of the structure and is located in the center of the unit. This optimizes the loading and processing phases, reducing the frame wear while providing greater maneuverability and more control over the whole process. To sum it up, the shafts can be promptly replaced on site, simple maintenance on location, supplied with a shaft holder rack. What's the difference between the two units? A load capacity increase kit is available for the MB HDS 207 to boost its loading ability from 50 to 60 litres. On the other hand, the MB HDS 212 is suitable for skid steers, and its shape is designed so the material can easily travel through the shafts. How do you make these two attachments even more versatile? There are several accessories available: the spare parts kit, the shaft kit holder, the RM mixer kit, RQ15 medium sifting kit for the MB HDS 212 shafts screener only, the RC composting kit, the RE8 and the RE16 fine sifting kits, and the RQ20 and the RQ50 medium sifting kits. When can these two new MB Crusher attachments be used on the field? 4 different application areas: to aerate packed soil, reclaim and clean soil from demolition debris, stones or roots, to sift padding material for pipelines, trenches and backfill. From gardening to construction jobs, the MB HDS 207 and the MB HDS 212 shafts screener always deliver.
Now, just to let you know, if you arrived late for tonight's show, and I don't blame you if you did, we have a whole bunch of giveaways up for grabs. You can take part as we go along using things like that thing down there, that lower third is what it's called. Just type Crusher into the chat for your chance to be in with a chance of winning an MB Crusher hat. As I say, you can take part as we go along, but we will be recapping at the end of the show too, just before we draw the winners. Now, the offers from MB Crusher do not end there. If you are going to the show, head on over to stand Y1, take a selfie with one of their attachments and post it on Instagram, tagging at MB Crusher, and you will be entered into a prize draw for a one-of-a-kind goodie bag. The winner will be chosen at random, but try to make yourself and perhaps more importantly the MB Crusher products look as good as you possibly can. Plus, and this one is a big plus, we have negotiated with MB Crusher a very special deal indeed. If you order one of the number of attachments on display at stand Y1 and mention Demolition News, you will get a discount, get this, of €1,000. See how we look after you? Right, we have lots more to come besides all of that, from the likes of Volvo, Doosan, Bell, Hitachi and Liebherr and many more. But before we get to all of that, let's swing by and see what the fine folks at Safety Shield are all about. And you can find out more about Safety Shield over at safetyshieldglobal.com. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted a certain Peter Haddock in that Safety Shield video. Well, he he turns up in the next one too. Peter visited the Hillhead showground during the setup period last week, and he bumped into one of his friends and a long-term friend of this show as well, Rupert Craven of Richie Brothers. Here's the pair of them in front of a rather stunning backdrop.
Rupert, you've been coming to Hillhead for a long time now, and it's great to see it being set up, isn't it? And it's great to see all the different brands that you work with and the equipment that you're selling all here. And you're going to be here again, aren't you, this year?
Yes, definitely. This is our 6th Hillhead, so I think as Richie Brothers, the first one was back in 2010. It's always been the best show for us. It's really where our industry is, where all the machinery is, and it's great to see it as a show and a working show as well. So really keen to have it, and obviously last Hillhead was missed back in 2020, so I think that's just increased the pressure for everybody to come along to this, get networking again, see what's happening in the industry, and as you rightly say, plenty of the brands that we work with are behind us here in the quarry, so it'd be great to see the whole industry out, look at what everybody's doing, talk about the new things that are happening in the industry and where everybody's going in it. So yeah, really looking forward to it, and it'd be great to be back here.
This is going to be a bigger show, Rupert, as well. There's over 600 exhibitors there, and new brands are going to be coming into the UK from the rest of the world. That's interesting for you as well, isn't it? Because people are going to be looking at those and looking to get rid of some of their older equipment and maybe switching to those new brands.
Definitely, there's so much change in the market with supply and demand and people swapping brands and going through things like that, and also all about the cost of machinery, ownership, fuel consumption, when's the right time to sell, when the right time to buy is, and getting that machinery coming through.
And of course, this is the first time that Richie Brothers are actually bringing the whole solution here at Hillhead. So you're bringing that selling solution, not just the auctions anymore, is it? And also your team from Rouse and Mascus, they're all here. So it's all going to be quite different. How is that going to work for people that are going to come and see you on the stand?
Well, the most important is they'll actually be able to come and see us, and I think that's the real difference compared to the last few years. We're actually here in person, not on video or in print or on the phone. We're actually here in person, and we've done a lot to the business right the way through. COVID's affected us a lot in that way. We've gone to the TAL auctions, we've used the marketplace far more for selling machinery on. We've bought Smart Equip, we've bought Rouse, both two big brands globally, in more in the information and supply around, and it's not, as you say, just auctions. So lots of different things, lots of interest to talk to customers about, and different ways of doing things.
And of course, folks, with fuel prices rising, they've got HVO on site here. The organisers are going green. We've also got some solar panel stuff as well. Lots of things are changing in the industry. People have really got to think about getting rid of some of those older assets now so they can invest in new things like electric here from Volvo and other brands, and also getting that new equipment that can be HVO ready to be more sustainable. So there's a lot of things people can think about now, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is, and it's constantly changing market. You know, we've seen the pound weaken quite a bit, which is great for selling. You know, so we saw in the last auction in May, it was 4% better for overseas European buyers to buy. We're sending lots of machineries to North America, Canada and the US, and huge returns on that. So it really is a good time to sell, not just in the UK, but around the world.
So face to face, it's Richie Brothers here at the build-up with Rupert at the moment, but you and your team are going to be here. Where are you going to be? Where can people find you?
Well, you can't miss us. We're right on the registration tent, so whether you're coming in or leaving, we'll be there to see you. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, as Rupert just said, Richie Brothers will be over on stand RE2, part of the registration area. And we'll be hearing from the good Mr. Haddock a bit later in the show as well. Right, time for another film and another giveaway as well. Let me throw this up on there as well. For many people, Hillhead 2022 will be their first opportunity to see the new Liebherr TA230 articulated dump truck in the flesh. And we can show you exactly what you have to look forward to. But while we do so, please type ADT into the chat for your chance to win a Liebherr baseball cap and a Liebherr branded cup for life as well. But this is what the truck looks like.
This is the Liebherr TA230 articulated dump truck.
And you can find the mighty Liebherr over on stand Z6, which I think is their usual stand as well. Right, let's stick with all things ADT just for a moment. In addition to Liebherr, those fine folks at Bell will also be focusing upon haulage solutions over on stand V1. Now, just to remind you, if you've just arrived, we have a whole bunch of giveaways up for grabs for this evening. You can take part as we go along, but we will be recapping at the end of the show, just before we draw the winners. But if you'd like to type the word or the letters ADT into the chat, you will be in with a chance of winning a Liebherr hat and a Liebherr cup for life as well. Now, we all know the potential harm that can be caused by breathing in silica dust. Well, not content with allowing men and women to work safely away from the workplace, those pioneers of the demolition robot concept, Brock, are now offering workers even greater protection. Now, before we go any further, I just had a message in from Tom O'Donnell, who says, is it just me? I can't see anything. I'm rather hoping everybody else can. I certainly can at my end, but if we are having any problems, please let me know, and we'll try and get it sorted out. Now, you can see Brock on stand number F9, and be sure to check out their new pedestal breaker boom system while you're there. And go and say hello to the whole team, but particularly my mate Jeff Pinion, who will be on the stand there to advise. Now, we are about to bring you yet another exclusive sneak peek at a product that is making its debut at the show. But first, another quick word from one of our sponsors.
The X-Watch suite of safety solutions has attracted major OEM dealers and some of the largest names in the UK plant hire industry, who now specify X-Watch systems as standard when customers specify height and slew limitations. Join the safety revolution. Just visit xwatch.co.uk.
This year's Hillhead show is set to be like no other. During the show's absence due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting lockdown, the industry has made some truly huge leaps in terms of technology and in the way in which equipment is powered. And we're going to look at how a couple of those advances, including the first one that could prove to be among the many stars of this year's show. This one is another exclusive.
This is a Dynapack CC1000E. It is the first prototypes of our new electric range of rollers. It's electric powered, so no more internal combustion, and it will be in general release for sale as of July this year. The transfer to electric is very important for the compaction business. We're reducing fuel, we're reducing noise, we're reducing emissions. It's about the Dynapack drive to Z era, which is our drive to zero emissions. This machine is the first of that range that we're developing internally. We've come to the stage where you can't start on site until sort of 9-10 o'clock because of noise regulations and limits now, whereas this machine, there's virtually no noise off it, so you can start a lot earlier, get the job done quicker, so you've less interruption for people's day-to-day business really. We were talking to the guys on site earlier, and they were saying around 30% of the time is when they're vibrating, so that's 70% of the roller's time on site. It's just normal tick over, whereas with the electric machine, as soon as you stop, it cuts out all power. So no drain on battery, no fuel wastage, no noise. Operating time, battery life, that's always going to be the main question coming from anyone who's considering electric. What we're finding is that we can generally run these machines for a shift. When we talk about a shift, the roller's not working for most of that. It's doing maybe 2-3 hours a day. It's, like we said earlier, it's 30% vibration. You know, the site is still happening as we're standing here, but yet the roller is parked up at the moment. Traditional machine would be idling, using some fuel, whereas that machine has effectively switched itself off until the operator gets back on the seat, pushes the lever, and off it goes. It is going to be a mindset shift. It is going to be a new way of working, but you know, we have to look at the future. We can't continue to do what we've always done in the past. We've had the machine in the country now for the past couple of months. We've had it on a number of different job sites. After today, it's going back to the workshop. We're going to tidy it up and we're going to put it on the stand at Hillhead. Come along, have a look at it, have a conversation with us about the future of compaction on Dynapack stand N4.
Yeah, as Mark just said, you can find Dynapack and their new Z-era roller over on stand N4. Now, throughout the global pandemic, equipment manufacturers have been making huge strides in the field of new product development, but none have made greater leaps than the two companies we're about to feature. And we're going to start with Bobcat.
Hi there, I'm Pete from Bobcat, and we're talking R2 Series excavators. Your work requires a lot of precision, and we've made the power and precision that you've come to expect from Bobcat even better. R2 Series joysticks are ultra responsive, and coupled with the new hydraulic control valve, they make the machine feel like an extension of you. Tackle those challenging jobs that require skilled operation with confidence. Take your operation to the next level with the power and precision of R2 Series excavators. Visit bobcat.com for more details.
Now, before I hit the play button once again, it's time to switch out the banner as we have another giveaway for you. And I'm going to dip into the chat very quickly as well. But that's what the new banner will look like. So if you want to type Volvo into the chat, up for grabs this time around will be a Volvo baseball cap, a Volvo keyring, and a Volvo Child's ADT, which comes complete with sound. I'm not going to play it for you now because it's very annoying. But if you want to be in with a shout of winning that, then type Volvo into the chat. Speaking of the chat, I'm going to pop over there very quickly and give you some terrible, terrible news. I wonder if there's any photos of the very first Hillhead show and what machines were on display. I wasn't at the first one. I go back 30 years, I think. Obviously, there was one or a couple 10 years before that. But one of the saddest days when I left Contract Journal back in the 1990, and a couple of years later the magazine folded, and all of the photographs, and we're talking physical photographs, not digital but physical photographs, all ended up in a skip. Isn't that the saddest thing you've ever heard? Maybe not the saddest, but you get the idea. Right, let's get this thing back on track. We've already had a lot of entries for the Volvo giveaway, so keep them coming. But let's talk about Volvo, shall we? And let's do so in hushed tones. And you will be able to find some peace and quiet in Volvo's Electric Village on the SMT GB stand, which is stand number Y5. And just to let you know, if you've arrived late, we've got a bunch of giveaways up for grabs. We've got one going at the moment. Type Volvo into the chat to be in with a chance of winning. Was it a hat, a keyring, and a child's model as well? You can take part as we go along, but we will be recapping at the end of the show. We've still got content to come from the likes of Doosan, Hitachi, and Power Screen as well. Plus, we will be announcing the winners of our various competitions, including what I can only describe as a surprise prize. But before we get to all of that, let's take a moment, let's pause a while to talk about technology. We now have a couple of tech-related videos for you. If Peter Haddock was here, he would be having multiple pleasant moments right about now. Tamtron will be along in just a second, but let's start, first of all, with the fine folks at MDig.
Technology plays an increasingly important role in today's construction site. With MDig as your partner, you can confidently embrace the digital transformation. We provide support for a complete range of construction site services alongside the rental and sales of machine control and GNSS equipment. Choosing the right equipment for your digital job site is essential. Our team of specialists will advise you on which kit to choose and provide installation and ongoing support from start to finish. MDIG has access to the latest technology solutions such as terrain mapping and 3D data. To further increase your productivity, we also offer job site setups. MDIG uses Smart Construction Remote to connect all of your construction equipment, regardless of manufacturer. Alongside remote support from our dedicated team, it will improve your equipment management, productivity, and ultimately minimise downtime. Whether you are new to digital construction and machine control or looking to brush up on your knowledge, we offer bespoke courses to suit your needs. To find out how you can maximise your job site, give the MDIG team a call or visit our website.
You will find MDIG on stand PC31, which, if I'm not very much mistaken, is in the show pavilion. One of their neighbours in the pavilion will be the fine Finnish folks at Tamtron. And Tamtron will be tucked away on stand PA43. Now we have just 3 more product films remaining before we hand over to Peter Haddock to take us around the showground, after which we will announce the winners of our various giveaways. But before we get to all of that, there's this. Now, I just mentioned our various giveaways, and we have one more. I have here in my possession a very smart Komatsu jacket. It is a medium, and sadly my physique is currently more beached whale than beach ready. Trust me, it's unopened. It's not one that I've worn. It's still in the wrapper, and I haven't outgrown it or anything like that. So while we're slowly bringing this show in for a controlled landing, I've just changed the banner once again. All you need to do now is type the word jacket into the chat for your chance to win the medium Komatsu jacket. While you're doing that, let's have a look at some more heavy iron, shall we? Now, we have already seen some of the crushing equipment that will be on display from the fine folks at Finley. But make sure you swing by stand L4 also to see what Power Screen is up to. That machine is actually the first of its kind in the UK, and it's been sold to Brett Aggregates by Blue Machinery. But you can also check it out at Hillhead next week on stand L4. Okay, folks, just 2 more product films before we draw a line under the main part of the show, before taking a spin around the Hillhead showground while we bring in the final few entries for our various giveaways. The final 2 are last for no other reason than the fact that we've actually featured them quite recently on the Breakfast Show. So let's begin with Hitachi, who you can find over on stand Z3.
You ain't heard nothing.
And our final product film of the night comes from the fine folks at Doosan, who are right next door to Hitachi on stand Z4. Here we go. Okay, people, it's the end. This is the last call for entries into our various prize giveaways. The film I'm about to play you is 9 minutes long, which means you have just 9 minutes to register your entries. There'll be a banner rolling across the bottom of the screen to tell you what to type into the chat, just as a reminder if you weren't here a bit earlier. But just to be clear, if you'd like to win a Komatsu baseball cap, type Hillhead into the chat. If you'd like to win an MB Crusher baseball cap, type Crusher into the chat. If you'd like to win a Liebherr baseball cap and a cup combo, type ADT into the chat. If you'd like to win the Volvo hat, keyring and child's model, type Volvo into the chat. And finally, if you'd like to win the medium-sized Komatsu jacket, just type the word jacket into the chat. While you're doing all of that, please watch along as Peter Haddock joins one of the organisers, Richard Bradbury, for a pre-show tour of the mammoth, and I do mean mammoth, Hillhead Showground.
Folks, Peter Haddock here. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm joining Richard Bradbury in the gator that's taking us round, yes, you've guessed it, the Hillhead show. We're in full effect here at Hillhead right now, aren't we? And we're going to have such a huge show. Over 600 exhibitors are going to be at the show here. And as we drive around, you might see going past myself and Richard, we're trying out new technologies. Look, a solar-powered security system from Bowwatch. Fantastic to see you doing that. This is part of what you're trying to do at the show, isn't it? Be more sustainable, try new things.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that we, do our bit in driving down our carbon footprint.
Yep.
And we're experimenting with some solar panel technology this year, the lighting towers. All of the indoor stands are going to be powered with HVO fuel this year.
HVO.
We're encouraging, obviously, lift share to, reduce the amount of journeys that are being made to Hillhead. We're also taking out single-use plastics across the site.
What's really important about all of this, Richard, is it's been 4 years. A lot has changed in the industry. We're seeing a lot of new technologies coming in, but Hillhead has actually got bigger.
It has, it has, both indoors and outdoors. The registration pavilion now is actually slightly larger than the main pavilion for the first time.
Right.
So we've got 130 exhibitors in there and the registration area. This area to the left here, we've got extra space outdoors as well. We've actually taken a little bit of the demonstration area to move some, to create some more plots. You can see CDE washing plant going up here on the left-hand side.
Beakers there as well.
Exactly. Slightly redesigned demo area here on the left. We're also putting in a hardwired fibre optic solution throughout the whole of the site this year as well for the first time.
I've said in my post already, Richard, it's the most connected Hillhead we've ever seen. We're in a quarry, folks. You know, you're never going to get great connection, but you've actually got in a whole wired system.
Yeah, we're just going over one of the ducts now, actually.
Oh, right.
We put several kilometres of cable so we can provide, you know, either Wi-Fi or a connected wired solution to all the exhibitor stands, you know.
Seeing Roto Tilt there, just to the side of us, folks. They've got their stand up. We're here on the Friday before the big build week, Richard. People are already starting to build some of the bigger stands here, but next week's really going to be a massive week for you, isn't it?
Yeah, what we try and do the first week of the main build is get the bigger structures in, start getting the larger crane lifts completed, so the infrastructure is in, and obviously most of the outdoor exhibitors and all of the indoor exhibitors coming from next week.
But also, folks, we've got some hotspots coming, haven't we? Wi-Fi hotspots for the visitors as well.
Yeah, there's 6 Wi-Fi hotspots dotted around the site. Various places, you'll see them on the You Are Here boards. That should make it, you know, easier to keep in touch whilst you're at the show.
And don't forget, people, keeping in touch is all about social media. What we're doing today, get some videos out, share as much as you can for those people that can't make the show. But what's interesting, Richard, we're talking before we jumped in the car, registrations are up on 2018 quite significantly, aren't they?
2018 was our best ever attended show. We had just under 20,000 in 19,700 or so. We're a couple of % above that so far at the same period. Still a couple of weeks to go. You know, we'd be delighted if we get similar visitor numbers to last time.
And what's really interesting is you've been able to accommodate more stands and more exhibitors. There's another one at Louis Gong, just going back there, my friends at Louis Gong, give you a wave. Basically, you've been able to get more exhibitors in here, so there's over 600 exhibitors. That's a big jump, isn't it, from what was before?
Yeah, well, we've expanded in 3 different areas, but the biggest extension outdoors is towards the quarry face, where we've extended the showground 30 metres, which has created another 3,000 metres of space.
You've got people now, as well as a show, that are using Hillhead for their European launch of products, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, you know, tell us about some of the people that are doing that.
Sure, we've got a few European launches that are planned for the show. Some of them are still confidential, unfortunately. But Aztec, American screen crushing manufacturer, they're using Hillhead to launch their range into the market.
We've also got the friends at Finlay, who are now Finlay instead of Terex Finlay. They're launching their rebrand. Volvo has got an electric village going on. That's new because since 2018 there's been a lot of electric launch, hasn't there? And there's a lot of that sort of stuff coming through, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, all of the major manufacturers now are offering at least hybrid solutions, and you know, and it's only going to increase, you know, that whole momentum towards reducing carbon footprint with the fuel is you know, really in its infancy still. And this is a great platform to show that off.
Komatsu are here in a big way. They've got a big hybrid fleet. Who's the stand just coming? Hitachi. They've not brought their machines yet, but they're building right here, right next to the big demo area.
We're sat in the area which would have been in the quarry face 4 years ago. We did a 30,000 tonne blast. That created a little bit more space, but we've also moved into the quarry face area, which had got very big over successive shows.
Look at how great that looks.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 20 different manufacturers demonstrating in this area.
Wow. What we've got over here is a whole new setup from Liebherr. What I love about this, I mean, look at it. It's all glass, isn't it, Richard? This is about having something that's purely visual, that people can really get an understanding of what's going on, isn't it? Great to see that as a double-decker as well. Right there, looking at the demo area. As we go and continue to go around, folks, you know, for me, you can see how much effort has been made into the surface now. We're going to spin around and let's see if we can go past these guys here. On to my right, folks, we've got the Big Bell stand as well. We've got City First here, tyre business ready, raring to go. Tyres are really important. Again, it's a big part. It is a quarry show after all, and we're in a quarry, so these sort of things are great. Part of the setup, folks, which you don't see, and which is why I'd love to do this behind the scenes piece, is the fact that you've got a crane. We've got the whole crane setup. McClanahan, there we go.
Yeah.
And they've got a crane in here that's setting up their whole demonstration area. This is what the setup's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We've got some really heavy kit in here, haven't we?
We've got 3 very large sort of leading washing plant manufacturers at Hillhead this year, all putting up plant. McClanahan's here on my left. Terex washing systems,
right,
and also at the top CDE Global, which you went past.
Yeah, fantastic. Always the very important elements to the show, the toilets, folks, over here at Worthing Events, helping you again there with this one this year. So we've now parked up, folks, and it's a time for me to say a little bit about the heritage of Hillhead. You know, this is the hashtag 40 years of Hillhead.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is a long time.
It
is a long time, and you know, we're absolutely delighted to be celebrating our 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of history. Launched, of course, back in 1982 by Jack Berridge and his team. You know, and really special event. I mean, I started getting involved in the early 2000s with Kieran J, and Jack took me under his wing, and it's been, you know, an absolute privilege really to work with the show and to see it grow show on show to what it is today.
You couldn't believe it, could you? It was raining a minute ago, and now it's sun is coming out. That's what Hillhead is like. But guess what? Guess what arrived today, folks? We had a phone call earlier, didn't we, Richard?
We did.
How many ponchos arrived?
Yeah, 8,000. That's right. Yeah, biodegradable ponchos. Yeah,
8,000, folks. So don't worry. Do that preparation. If it is sunny, bring the sun cream. If it is raining, make sure you get your cagoule out. And as I've seen, the whole site is a little bit bigger now, so those safe pair of shoes and the comfy shoes, important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Walking boots are great, you know. Don't come in flip-flops.
No, I wouldn't recommend it. But, you know, thanks so much for letting me come and have a behind-the-scenes look. Not many people get to see this at all at this stage. Have a great week next week, whereby you're setting up, and, you know, I wish you all the best for the show. It's going to be tremendous. About time we all got back talking, folks. Forget about these videos. Get face to face. Thanks to Richard and his team. Cheers, Richard.
You're welcome. Cheers.
That didn't. Okay, people, that pretty much wraps up proceedings for tonight. I really do appreciate you all being here, and thank you for taking part. If you are going to Hillhead next week, then please look out for this hat. Should be familiar to most of you by now. Come and say hi. I'd love to meet some of you in person. I'd like to meet all of you in person, but I know only some of you are going. Just need to clarify that. Let's have a look. If you can't make it to the show in person, fear not. It is our plan to produce a post-Hillhead show a week or two after the event, so you'll still be able to catch up on all the action right here. Thanks to all our contributors. Thanks to Peter Haddock for providing us with some terrific footage of the show. But thanks most of all to the organisers of the Hillhead show itself for braving the pandemic, for investing in making one of my favourite shows even bigger and even better, and also for allowing myself and Peter to be a part of the big build-up. Everyone, thank you again for being here. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you at Hillhead next week. But I'll also see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. sharp for the Breakfast show. No more giveaways, I'm afraid. You've emptied. The cupboard is now bare. But Gary Muirhead and who else won? Gary Muirhead and Jeff Pinion and Ken Hatcher and James Doble. Congratulations, gentlemen. The prizes will be on their way to you very, very soon. Once again, thanks for being here. Have a great evening, what's left of it. And I'll see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you at Hillhead. I'll see you around. Thanks once again. All the very best.